Hi everyone, welcome back to David at Go To Hobbies. I want to talk about smart motorways again. Now, the problem that what they've done is they want to keep the traffic flowing, but in their wisdom, or very much lack of it, they have done away with the hard shoulder, or what we class as an emergency lane, for emergency vehicles getting into an accident, fire, or getting through. So they've done away with this emergency lane. Is it a bad idea? Yes. Is it poor planning? Yes. It's to cut down the congestion. But in their wisdom, it's practically a poor idea implemented it in practice. So, what would be a good idea? If vehicles are in a standing traffic, and that is to make a lane for emergency vehicles to pass through. So, in other words, the vehicles make a path through the road traffic so that emergency vehicles can gain access to. It should be in the highway code if it's not already there. It's something that should be used with common sense, but it doesn't. And the problem is, if it's a life and death matter, people are going to lose their lives. Why? Because these people that designed these roads did not take that into consideration. If they did, then it's very bad, isn't it? So what can we do about it? Understand that the emergency vehicles need to get through. A good idea would be, if you can't make room by pulling off the side of the road out the way, and that is leave a space in front of you sufficient enough so you can put your wheel over so to get out of the way and give her access through to the emergency vehicles. But people, you know as well as I do, are absolute stupid. Stupid. And the problem being is that they don't think. I might as say this until my face turns blue, because how many drivers you see driving on the roads that are making terrible judgments? They don't use the lights, they don't use indicators, they don't warn of stationary traffic, they drive up the wrong way, they go through red lights, they fail to give way to pedestrians. They don't care as long as they can get to work or to rub a neck and see what's happening in an accident. The driving standards in the UK is absolutely awful. The law needs to change, taking consideration for things that are changing. As a professional driver, I think about these things, but even some professional drivers have not got a clue. Why? All they're interested in doing is getting from A to B, and they don't care a toss about anyone in the process they piss off. It's absolutely mindless. The society we're living in nowadays is careless. They're almost like a zombie nation, reduced intelligence, backwards in their thoughts, and you wonder why there's over 55,000 people killed on the roads in the space of 23 years. And there's over 5 million people injured on the British roads in the same time, and including fatalities. And you wonder why. If it was someone has an accident And there's a big hoo-ha about it. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing at all. But let's get it in perspective. 55,000 people have lost their lives on British roads in 23 years. Look what happened in Southport. Those 3 little kids lost their lives because of that person. Look at the Manchester Arena incident. There's just different scenarios that have happened where people have caused death and destruction. But that was one instance. We've had 55,000 people killed in 23 years. If you worked out how many people have been shot, murdered, and so on, it's going to be less than 55,000. But this is just one. What's the word I'm looking for? It factor in driving. I'm sorry. I'm 63. I've been driving 40 years. How I'm still here, God knows. I've come close to death many times. How I come home at night sometimes, I wonder. Excuse me for a minute. Sorry about that. Right. I'm thinking that the M1 used to be policed. Excuse my stomach growling. It used to be policed by traffic officers, right? And then it got changed to no hard shoulder and changed to 4 lanes, smart motorway. In their wisdom, they come up with these safe areas to people break down, they can pull into. But this is bloody stupidity in the making, isn't it? I actually worked on those, building them, right? But when is a car going to break down conveniently so you can pull off? A car's going to break down. Doesn't matter where you are on the motorway, it can be in the middle lane, near side lane, offside lane. You might be lucky to get it onto the hard shoulder. If you're unlucky, it comes to a stop where it is. And it causes chaos. People get frustrated. They want to get back to where they're going to, or whatever. People have not got patience. Why are we living like this? Why is everyone got their heads stuck up their asses and thinking, I'm better than you? What has happened to our society? What happened to the caring, considerate people we used to be? And loving and caring. Excuse me. I feel that we're losing our identity. We're losing our British values, our British ways. A caring, considerate nation. But slowly and truly, we've been pressurised by our governments. Why do I blame the government? Well, folks, it's like this here. Petrol prices are going up. Gas prices are going up. We've got every nationality under the sun in the UK. 150,000 illegal immigrants. Over 1 million legal immigrants coming into the UK. We've got RNLI shipping these immigrants across for safe passage. They rescue them off the boats. Where is it going to stop? Who can we blame for this? Where do we point the finger? Do we point it at the government? Is it the police? Is it our civil servants? Who's making our country like this? What has happened to our Britain? There's a lot of questions, isn't there? It's almost like they're doing it deliberately to piss people off. And I sometimes wonder, where is it going to end? I'm 63. I'll be 64 in March. I don't know how many years I've got left before I pop my clogs. I don't know what my daughters' and sons' lives are going to be like in years to come in our society. We've got a government at the moment that couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery, let alone an F in a whole house. They're absolutely bloody hopeless. It's almost like the police don't care. It's almost like they'll do their job. I'm not saying it's the rank and file. I think this comes from the top down. I think they don't care. It might sound this, it might sound that. It's almost like turning against the British folk. Look what happened when they had these Palestinians protesting in London. Who were the police protecting? They were protecting the Palestinian protesters. So what about us British people? What rights have we got? By the looks of it, not a lot. Do you know why I think they put Tommy Robinson away in prison? Because he was causing too much of a stir. But it's not just Tommy Robinson, is it? You've got other people on YouTube voicing their opinions in disbelief of what society is turning out to be in the UK. We are virtually on a level of civil revolt. We are almost going into a recession. We're almost at World War III. We're ruled by a dictatorship, a communist socialist government that is aligned with Putin and Russia and the Chinese. So Plonker Starmer is trying to align with the Chinese. And what have they done to this sadistic Khan? They've given him a knighthood. Sir Sadistic Khan now. We've got Sir Plonker Starmer, we've got Sir Sayed IQ Khan, or whatever you want to call him. There is lots of other names I will call him. Begins with W and begins with B. It's almost like Screw the working class. And you think to yourself, what the hell is going on? Our society never used to be like this. We never used to have this sort of trouble in the UK. I remember years ago, right? If someone broke down, I'd help them. If someone was across the road, I'd stop and let them cross. How many people have you seen someone standing in the rain? I saw, this is the honest truth. I was in my truck the other week, a few weeks ago, right? And this woman in a wheelchair, right, was waiting across the road. And this bastard in a Volkswagen car, there was a puddle at the side of the road, drove into the puddle, splashed this poor woman. I thought, you absolutely effing arsehole. I stopped. I was driving a tipper, working for a local company. I stopped. I asked this woman, are you all right? She says, yes, the umbrella caught most of it. But I thought, that bloke is going to get his karma. I tell you now, karma always pays its due. And I hope that bastard that did it rots in hell. So I made sure she was all right. And, you know, can she get home? Yeah. So this is the type of person I am. I'll help anyone. But the whole point of it is, this is what people are like, what should be like. And I just feel that because our society is turning into a bunch of arseholes, there's very few and far between some nice people around. I mean, what sort of moron would drive into a puddle to wet a disabled person? Where is the mentality in our society that wants to do that? What does it tell you about our society? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? I'll tell you this, and I don't make this lightly. I'm ashamed to be associated with other human beings that do this sort of thing. I'm not like them. I'm not so wicked and cruel. I'm not a bastard that does that sort of thing. But it seems that some particular car drivers make it their job to piss other people off. Audi drivers, Volkswagen drivers, BMW drivers, and Mercedes drivers. I had a Volvo driver the other day. I'm driving an Arctic and I'm coming around this roundabout and he decides to pull out from his lane into the front of my vehicle, coming on my vehicle. I thought, you got a death wish or something. Hit the horn, and these things got loud horns, and it doesn't make no difference. And now you see why people die on the roads, because their stupidity, their attitude thinking they can do these things without consequences. Doesn't work, does it? But anyway, we've covered a lot. Add your point of view. Tell me what you think. What would you do? How would you do it? What do you think about what I said? Have a say. Tell me what you think. And we'll see you in the next video. Please like, share and subscribe. Please leave a comment. See you soon. Take care everyone. Bye for now.